Hello, my name is Daniel Nakote. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the correct usage of I and me. But before we continue, please subscribe to the channel, like and share it. So I'm going to explain what each one is and how to use it correctly in sentences. So let's begin with I. I is a personal pronoun. I is also a subject pronoun. I is the writer and the speaker as well. Now, when you talk about the subject of a sentence, then we are talking about the person that performed the action or is talked about. Of course, the subject also shows a state of being. But in these sentences, I'm going to let the subject perform the action because I have used action verbs throughout. So let's see how I perform the action in these sentences. So number one, I write stories about this city. So you see I here is the subject and he performs the action of what? Write. 2, I played football at school. So you have I here and then what? Performing the action of played. Okay. 3, I always pray for you, Araba. So you have I here performing the action of what? Pray. 4, I teach these children well. So you have I here being the subject performing the action of what? Teach. Now when you look at sentences 5 to 8, I have used I together with a noun, forming a compound subject. But you realize that I is still in the subject position. Okay, so let's see 5. Edubiara and I will visit you. Okay, so I have Edubiara and I here forming the subject. Okay, of course, is a compound subject. 6, Shira and I will come to the party. Okay, Shira and I will come to the party. 7, Bill and I play in the field. Bill and I play in the field. 8, Janet and I walk to school. So Janet and I walk to school. Okay, so this is how I can be used correctly in sentences, and I'm very sure you did not have any difficulty with it at all. Now, if you look at these sentences, you realize that they all end with what? A full stop. These are called declarative or statement sentences, okay? And their basic duty or function is to give information. Now, if you look at the default sentence in English, is what? SVO, okay? It means subject, verb, object. Of course, it is not all sentences that have object. It is optional in certain sentences, okay? So it means that the subject, okay, the subject always comes before the verb, okay, in declarative sentence. That is why you can see that I is before the verb. So let's look at me. Okay, me is a personal and an object pronoun, and it is also a complement. Okay, now when we talk of me being the object, then we are talking of the fact that it suffers from the action of the verb, or it benefits, or it experiences. Okay, in the event where we use causative and stative verbs, then it experiences. Okay, so but in these sentences, sometimes it will suffer from the action, at other times it will benefit. Okay, so let's see how me is used as the object in these sentences. Okay, so 1, Kweku beats me in this area. So we have me here, okay, suffering from the action of what? Beat. Okay, so it is the object of the verb beat. 2, Mr. Dogo knocked me on the head. Okay, so here again you have me here suffering from the action of what? Knock. Okay. 3, give the money to me. So you have of course this is the verb here, but me is not the object of this give. It is the object of the preposition. Okay, so in this case it is benefiting. Okay, it is a beneficiary here. Okay, then from sentences 4 to 7, you realize that I have me together with a noun. Okay. forming a compound object here. Okay, so let's see how me is used here as well. 4. They spoke to Elsie and me. Okay, so you have Elsie and me here, so being the object of the preposition to. Okay, then 5. He taught Felix and me well. He taught Felix and me well. So you have Felix and me being the object of the verb taught. Okay, then 6. Tell your father and me the truth. Tell your father and me the truth. So you have your father and me here being the object of what? The verb tell. Now, if you look at 7, Kojo and me, the teacher came. Of course, so this is also a declarative sentence. Okay, all these are declarative sentences, just like I mentioned earlier on here. Okay, but here we are just placing emphasis. Okay, so it's still a declarative sentence. You can see that it ends with a full stop. Or any sentence that ends with a full stop is a declarative sentence. Okay, so Kojo and me, the teacher came, it still functions as the object of the verb came. Okay, then 8. Earlier on I mentioned that me also functions as a complement. So in 8 here, me is a complement. Okay, it is not an object. Okay, now so it was not me, it's a complement, it's not an object. Now look at the verb to be. Okay, the verb to be in its various forms like is, where, are, and the rest. Okay, anytime it functions as the main verb in the sentence, it doesn't take an object. Okay, it takes a complement. Okay, so you realize that all these are declarative sentences. Okay, and like I mentioned early on here, whereas in these sentences I will come before the verb, here me will always come after the verb. Okay, except in 7 where we are placing emphasis on the object. Okay, so here you realize that me always comes after the verb. Okay, these are declarative sentences. Like I mentioned earlier on, it is the default sentence before it can be transformed into all other types of sentences. Okay, now another way to use me correctly is to cancel out the noun, okay, that perform that compound object function with me. Okay, so look at 4. If we decide to cancel out Elsie, okay, we'll have me left. So 4 will read, they spoke to me. In 5, if we cancel Felix out, okay, if we cancel Felix out, it will read, he taught me well. In 6, if we cancel your father out, it will read, tell me the truth. In 7, if you cancel Kojo out, it will read, me, the teacher came. So if you follow these explanations that I've given, I'm very sure that you'll never be tempted to replace me with I, so that you have expressions like they spoke to Elsie and I. You will never have that. Okay, you can never replace me with I. Okay, you can't say they spoke to Elsie and I. No, it is wrong. It is what? Elsie and me. Okay, they spoke to Elsie and me. Okay, because me functions as the object. Okay, so it must always be at the object position. Okay, so that's my lesson on the correct usage of I and me. Do well to subscribe to the channel, like and share it. Thanks for watching.